Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3. Just give me some more. Have it in. Give me some more. Just give me some more.
Hello and welcome to My Whiskey Den and Ginger Stream 2020. Don't miss it. Stay tuned for the rest of the week. Have tons more ginger-related things on, so do not miss out. And remember that it is public access whiskey reviews. That's we're the favorite channel for it. There's no one else who does it. And that we love craft whiskey. Craft whiskey is king. So that you have to keep watching this. And if you're making pictures, put that hashtag up. Mike, why don't you tell these people what to do?
What's the ginger related content? It's like sunlight safety.
Yeah. We're going to be having a stream that uses copper tone.
What's the best SPF so you can interact with daywalkers? Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification to know when new episodes are coming out. Don't forget, Monday nights, almost every single time, is a live episode in the Evening With series.
How to know the soul you're sucking is worth taking.
Yeah.
And the next in Evening With, by the time you guys see this, is going to be with Robert and Jonathan Licorice when they come on our stream on February 1st. So stop in for that. And today we are going to be looking at the Esoteric from Ironroot down in Denison, Texas. Now this one is part bourbon, part corn whiskey, supposedly a little bit of black magic. I was going a little gray alchemy, whatever you want to do with that one. But it comes from some of their older stocks in the warehouse. But this year they enhanced the flavor with Purple Prairie Barley from Montana to give it a little extra depth. So what is in this is the yellow dent corn, the green Oaxacan corn, caramel malted wheat. That's interesting. And Purple Prairie Barley. Now, let's see where this goes because the Purple Prairie Barley sounds absolutely amazing. And if I'm not right, this is kind of like a leftover evolving blend that they kind of do.
Yeah.
So it's what I love about this is their leftovers, people. And this one for the stat horse, 48.5% alcohol by volume. So this one is, I want to say, not as punchy for an Ironroot because it's not a 50 and above. So this one's actually a little lower ABV for those guys. What are you guys getting on the nose? I gotta find a way through this ginger hair.
It's a creamy vanilla. It reminds me of Michter's American. It's kind of an orange cream, kind of orangey vanilla.
I get that quite a bit actually. A little bit of pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg on the back half, but then the barrel kind of comes through and I think overtakes it on the nose. It's a nice toasted barrel finish. I'd still say it's still probably a 3, but it has a nice. It's not overdone on the nose.
Yeah, the French oak, for me, the French oak comes in hard on this one. It really leaps out of the glass, but it's I mean, at the same time, it's in a really lovely way. I'm getting some honey malt and that big, like you guys said, that orange creamsicle kind of note going. And again, kind of it's becoming almost ubiquitous with the pour of Ironroot, but I'm pulling that little bit of mint coming out of there too.
Yeah, this one doesn't seem as heavy though. Like I get what you're talking about. It doesn't seem as hard on the back end.
I get it in a certain spot.
And I get
where it's like where it just changes. Like I'm nosing it and it changes where it gets real fresh and then just goes away.
Yeah. It almost gets dark before the freshness, like it almost like a little date before like the date fades away and gets some brighter notes, like Mike's talking about.
I'm getting a little bit of sage going on too. There's this interesting herbal sage note. I mean, it literally, my mind like flashed back to standing out in the high desert in Oregon, and you could just smell the sage and the juniper it was just heavy perfumed in the air. And I'm getting this kind of sage, even almost juniper type note that's reminding me of that.
It's funny you say that juniper, and now that I'm wondering if I'm picking that up for real.
Yeah. Just the magic playing with your mind.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Magic.
Oh. After sampling some of the other stuff we've had from them earlier tonight on the drink, things are married together well, but I'm able to pick out some of the other whiskeys in it. Like I can hit two different flavor profiles from them in here, but that may be because we've already had some of their stuff tonight.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, that turned real interesting right at the back end of the finish. Holy smokes!
Mm-hmm.
It took like this funky left turn for me, and I got to figure out what that is.
On the front half, I was getting that orange flavor. It was almost like a orange oil, like that little dropper oil that like your wife uses and when she practices witchcraft. That type of stuff, or essential oils, whatever you want to call it. But I was gonna say it was a really nice note of that. It had some nice a little bit of brown sugar to it, hidden underneath, like almost like a little glaze to it. There's almost like no alcohol to it. And it's not as oily as some of the other iron roots that we've had, in my mind. This being under 50 feels a little bit more. The front half you don't get as much, but the finish feels a little more watery to me. Not that some flavors aren't sticking around, but it's more of a mid-level where usually iron root has a little bit thicker finish to it for me.
It's a very clean finish, and I'm trying to figure out what that is too, Ben, because it really stays with you and feels. I mean, it feels, I don't know, right and proper, which is not really the good way to say that. But then it just changes and it just gets really, really clean, and not watered down, but just I guess almost as though you had added a few extra drops to the whiskey. So not necessarily watered down, but maybe a little more opened up. It's very interesting, that finish is.
I like how the pepper and almost like a little coriander and some of the spice picks up on the second half of the drink, But by the time it gets to the finish, that's fading away. It's already starting to disappear, and you get this nice cinnamon, pepper, barrel note, a little bit of light char finish that just has this nice light fade to it as it goes away. Like it's still there, and it's giving you a little bit of flavor, but it's slowly going away.
And that back end and finish on this thing, it's like a journey that just keeps on going. It's like this roller coaster ride that you're going on, that you're expecting it to just kind of come to a stop at any time, but it just you keep rolling and you keep rolling. And so I had this kind of honey malt thing going on the back end, and all of a sudden it just transitioned, and it was just straight up. I got this note of fig, like fig preserves. And then it's shifted into, I pick up a little bit of mint, and then all of a sudden I get this cinnamon and I get this pepper note going on. And it's like the ride just keeps on going. Yeah,
when as soon as you said that,
oh man,
that's what it reminded me of, like a big open hole, and you're like, I don't know how deep this hole is.
Yeah,
let's throw something down there and see how deep this thing is, and it's faint, but it still keeps going, and you can tell it's still going, and you know that it hasn't finished yet, and you're like, when is this going to end? Because it's still going, but it's going in such a way that it's just there that you know it's there. It's just enough there, and it's just like it's still going. It
is, and it gets that clean, like you said, that kind of a clean type finish going on.
Yeah,
where it takes this sudden shift, but at the same time, that finish, everything is still slowly transitioning and slowly opening and slowly unfolding.
Yeah.
And it just continues to evolve. I mean, I don't know if it's like looking at I don't know how to describe it. It's just like something that just is constant, this kaleidoscope that's constantly moving and changing and shifting, and it doesn't just stop or stay any one place. It just, even as the finish goes on, a minute into it, and it's still, you feel like there's these notes that are just unraveling.
Yeah. Yeah, like a light show that you can still see the remnants of the lights long after they're gone.
We're literally drinking the Fibonacci sequence here.
And,
and I have laterality playing in my head.
It also reminded me of, because I've got a lot of old machinery, and I've got an old grinder that is from it's old Walker Turner grinder from the 40s, and when you get it on full blast and you turn it off, you can go walk away and you can come back 2-3 minutes later and it's still spinning down. And that's what it reminds me of. You're like, damn it, that thing is still going. And you leave again and you come back, you're like, and it's still, even though it's slow, it's still going. And it's 5-6 minutes before the thing actually stops completely.
Right.
So
very interesting.
Not a surprise. Another a very nice whiskey from Ironroot.
Yeah.
This one lower proof, and it flavor in the drink, but the finish seems to be the more exciting thing for us, where it's quietly unraveling itself for minutes.
I'm getting like a lavender tea on this now. This is a trip. This is one you want to sit down with and like just take your time and just dive in and try to explore.
You don't want to be bugged either. You just want to be kind of left alone where you're staring at a fire. I know it sounds bad, but I'm like, it is like, just I want to be by myself for a minute. Leave me be.
You're alone time whiskey.
Yeah.
I think everyone should have that. I have questions. 10 minutes.
All right, everybody leave. You poured the Esoteric.
What?
Right.
My dad even had that with the bathroom, and he goes, I think I said that one point, private time in the bathroom. Like, this is where the family leaves me alone. Is this wall right here? So, but Esoteric, bring in the weird black art on the finish. Really, really pulling it out of there on that one, and it's unique because, like I said, I can taste a couple of the whiskeys coming together, but that are in there, but they do, everything there is so rounded that I think it kind of finds its own place on the inside of this whiskey. And sorry everyone, this is people's leftovers. This damn good leftovers. It's a crazy amount of leftovers here. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Just shows you how good they are at Ironroot, man. If this is their freaking leftovers put together and it comes together like this, these boys are brilliant at what they do. Bottom line, they're just brilliant.
So, but like we said, remember to stop in and talk to the Licorice Boys on February 1st when we have them on. So you're going to learn that much more. And then I don't have to wear the wig because they will be the gingers in the stream. It'll be so much nicer. Their hair is so much better than mine. So remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers to it. 1, 2, 3.